2026 is the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, of the birth of the United States of America. Revolution Untold uncovers the overlooked stories of the cradle of democracy, of the people that shaped a nation in Williamsburg, Virginia. The past is not complete until all its voices are heard. This is Revolution Untold.
It's summer in Charleston, which means it's suffocating inside the dirty, cramped ship. Hundreds of American soldiers are being held here after a disastrous British siege in the American Revolution. Among them is one unexpected soldier, Robert Mursh, a young Pamunkey man. For most of American history, only the well-known figures of the Revolution, like the Founding Fathers, have been celebrated, and the lives of indigenous soldiers like Robert Mursh were denied the very thing they fought for and deserved, the right to participate and elect a government that represented them. Not much is known about Mursh's early life. Robert Mursh, noted in his history sometimes as Marsh, was born and grew up in the Pamunkey homeland along the Pamunkey River, now King William County, Virginia. As he grew, his parents and his community would have taught him important skills like hunting and fishing. He likely wasn't even called Robert. Young Pamunkey children often had multiple Algonquian names that have changed as they matured. The Pamunkey spoke the Algonquian language. Robert Mursh's Algonquian name is not known. Robert Mursh began to attend the Brafferton Indian School in Williamsburg around the age of 11. Founded in 1693, the Indian School was meant to assimilate its native students, and the university came into existence in large part because of this school. Many students at the Brafferton would later serve as important intermediaries for the colonial English government. It's during his formative years that Mursh witnessed the birth of American independence. As violence broke out in the northern colonies, the royal governor of Williamsburg fled as rebellion became inevitable. In 1776, at the age of 18, Mursh enlisted in the Continental Army, and he fought in several well-known battles. However, after the Battle of Germantown in Philadelphia, Mursh's regiment, the 15th Regiment, suffered heavy casualties and regrouped in Charleston after a long, brutal winter. Sometime after their arrival, Robert Mursh was imprisoned by the British and kept on a suffocating, cramped, and dirty prisoner of war ship. Continental soldiers in these prisons were regularly beaten by the British and endured constant intimidation, and the unsanitary and dismal conditions meant that many soldiers became sick and soon died. By the end of the Revolution, over 800 American soldiers would die on ships like these in the Charleston harbor. Robert Mursh survived and spent 14 months on a prison ship before being released in 1781 on Jamestown Island. Demonstrating his dedication to American independence, Mursh rejoined the war, spent the final years of the Revolution in Yorktown and then in Georgia. Finally, after 7 years of war, the Treaty of Paris was signed, ending the Revolution, and Robert Mursh returned home. Back in Virginia, Mursh married a Pamunkey woman called Elizabeth, with her parents' blessing in a Pamunkey ceremony. Robert and Elizabeth had 9 children, with 5 reaching adulthood. As their family grew, the Murshes joined the Lower College Baptist Church in King William County and remarried in a Christian ceremony. In the early 1800s, Robert and his family moved to a Catawba-controlled area in South Carolina, where he established and became a pastor of the Hopewell Baptist Church. Neighbors of the Murshes described Robert as a minister of excellent character who captivated his audience during his sermons. However, like many Revolutionary War veterans, Robert Mursh and his family struggled financially. When the Federal Pension Act of 1818 passed, Robert quickly applied. After being approved, Robert received $8 a month, only $200 in today's money. Although the government gave Robert a pension, he didn't have the same rights as some other Americans. A case from the local court of appeals explains that a John Marsh, a Pamunkey man, Virginian, and a Revolutionary War veteran, was not entitled to vote because of his ancestry. Although it's hard to be sure that this man is Robert Mursh, this decision reaches farther than just him. It wasn't until the Indian Citizenship Act of 1924 that Native Americans were considered to be citizens of the United States, and their voting rights wouldn't be guaranteed until a judicial decision in 1948. Robert Mursh passed away in early December 1837 and left behind his growing family. Elizabeth Mursh fought for a widow's pension while the legality of her marriage was questioned. After nearly a decade, Elizabeth succeeded in her petition and was given $80 a year until she too passed away. A Pamunkey boy educated at an English school, a Baptist pastor who was married in a Pamunkey ceremony, and a Revolutionary War soldier who was denied the right to vote, Robert Mursh's story illuminates the socio-political complexities of early America. Robert Mursh was one of the many indigenous people who were forced to navigate the tumultuous birth of the United States. Throughout American history, individuals like Mursh have defended the ideas that the United States is built on liberty and freedom. And yet, many of these people are overlooked by history and denied the equal rights and protections by the country for which they fought. And the achievements and sacrifices of these men and women have been overshadowed and forgotten. The Pamunkey were the first Virginia tribe to be federally recognized. Like Robert Mursh, their stories are waiting to be told, and their impact on their communities, Williamsburg, Virginia, and the entire United States deserves to be celebrated.
By sharing these stories, we remember more fully, understand more clearly, and expand the story of the American Revolution. Revolution Untold is generously supported by the Williamsburg 250 Commission, William and Mary Strategic Cultural Partnerships, and the Society of 1918 at William and Mary, and is made possible in part by a grant from VA 250 Commission in partnership with Virginia Humanities.